Hello everybody, this is David Fortin. I'm an attorney, outside counsel for Marshall County REMC, and a computer programmer at Fortress Grand Corporation in Plymouth, Indiana. And I'm here to demonstrate ChatREMC.com. It is an active archive of board action, cooperative bylaws, policies, and documents. So let's jump right in. First we'll go to the menu and we're going to look at an option called Board Meeting Stats. And so what we'll be looking at today is this is the sample data which is available live online for you guys to check this out yourself. But it's data from 37 meetings you can see here, and this covers 3 years. We have a list of all the people, fictitious, who attended those meetings, the number of times they were at meetings, their first appearance and their most recent appearance. Also the topics that were discussed at the meetings, their frequency, first appearance in the minutes and most recent appearance in the minutes. We have one of particular interest to us here, the safety. We can see that we've discussed that 45 times. This is a link here, so we can click on safety, and what that does is it goes through the minutes and it lists in reverse chronological order every time that safety was discussed and appears in the minutes. So most recently, December 7th meeting, safety was discussed. We can scroll back and you can see that it's discussed in every meeting going all the way back to the beginning of our data here, which was January 16th. And then it's just a little brief of what appeared in the minutes from that meeting. So we'll grab just one of these. This one from the November 12th, 2022 meeting. There was a safety came up and an issue about a ladder was discussed. So we can actually jump to that meeting, to the November 12th meeting, by clicking here. And that takes us back to this November 12th meeting. Then we have these are just the items from the minutes, and they've been categorized, curated, so they're listed here by topics. Scroll down, here's our safety item, and there in fact is the one about ladder safety that was discussed at that meeting. And then this also goes the other way, so we've got OSHA here in this meeting, and if we want to see related actions to that, we can click on this related actions, and then that shows us every reference to OSHA that appeared in the minutes, again in reverse chronological order. So we can look through those and just browse through those. In addition to being able to browse through that way, of course, there are search characteristics of this. So we can go here and we can go to search and query, and we can search by words or phrases. So we can jump in here and we can look up the things that we just browsed to. There's ladder, and it appears that ladder only showed up once in the minutes. Very interesting. So maybe we could put in climbing and see where that showed up. Okay, so we have climbing that did appear several times in the meeting minutes. We can also look up things like meter, let's say. And again, here's a list of the times that meter came up at board meetings. Now, this is where the AI is helpful. So we can go back to this home screen and then query board minutes. And I can ask it a question like, please summarize our discussion about meters. And then run this as an AI query. And I've already run this. It takes about 30 seconds to do these things, so I've run one here. Summarize our discussion about meters. It goes through all those minutes, that long list, and it plucks out the things that are of interest and organizes and categorizes them and surfaces them in a human digestible form of all of our discussion of meters. So here's a meter setup charge and meter tampering charges that was discussed, an issue with a meter, safety and training related to meters. So there's just some examples of what the AI surfaces on that. We'll go back to this home. So in addition to just saying summarize this, we can have AI render an opinion for us. So we can say something like, do we talk about safety enough? And then of course this will go through and run an AI query on that, and it goes through all those 3 years of meeting minutes, and it summarizes our discussions of safety, and then it comes up with a conclusion, in AI's opinion, of whether or not we discussed it enough or not. So, and that's what it does with the board minutes. Now, all the AI stuff is available for any documents that we put in here. So I've got some examples where I put in the bylaws of a cooperative and all their policy documents that are available, and we can run AI queries on those. And those are available if we jump here and here to these documents. This is a list of all the documents that I've loaded into this system for this sample. And there's an indicator here whether or not they're public. And there's a web page widget that goes along with this where we can display these documents and let our members query on them. That's how you do that. So I'm just going to run some queries on the documents. One of them that an end user might run is maybe on the bylaws, they might say, what is required of members. And of course, I've run that query already, which is here. What is required to be a member? So it goes through the bylaws, and of course the user could go through and read the bylaws and get this information, but it puts it in a nice human readable form. And that's just an example of a query that ran on just the bylaws. Now it's also useful for staff too. So we have a scenario here where we've got a bunch of distributed generation documents on there, and maybe someone just wants a quick rundown of what's required for distributed generation. So we could click on those documents and say something like, write an encouraging letter to Jane Derva about the requirements for a distributed energy resource project. And of course I've run that one already also. And this one comes out and it says, Dear Jane Derva, and it goes through and it's in a polite form talking about distributed energy resources. We've got the requirements. It went through all the applications that were on the website and it summarized for her what it is she needs to do. Internet connection application, online drawing, a site plan, spec sheets. She's got to get insurance. Then there's review and approval, insurance, indemnification, safety, costs, and operational agreement. And to put this all in letter form that staff can use then to base their own letter on to send out to the customer. And that's about it. All this stuff, like I said, it's available at chatremc.com. It's very easy to get your minutes and your documents in here, and we can help with that. And it's all available and ready today. Thank you.